This is Dale here at Dead Northern, and joining me, fresh off the stage of a Q&A of his film, is Andrea. Tell me about the film Home Education.
So, Home Education is a psychological part film about a homeschooled girl whose dad has recently died, and she's convinced by her mum as well as her dad's old teachings before he died to they can resurrect him if they prove that they want him back enough, and then they start going.
Funnily enough, if someone's dead, you think, wish hard enough will come back, things start going wrong, you wouldn't imagine that, would you? No, you wouldn't. Or is it like seeing your film on the big screen here at the Northern Festival?
It was great because this was the UK premiere. Wow, it's been a surreal journey because the film was produced in Italy and shot in Italy, and although it's a British film and it was distributed across cinemas in Italy in Italian, and that was released last year in the States and Canada on streaming platforms. But this isn't its true hope. So I'm glad that finally after 2 years of shooting it, I guess you see. Yeah, it's very moving.
So I suppose that's a British film. How come you did get it out into Italy first? Why did it take so long to get to the UK?
Because it's been like most speech films, be a real process. But I had Italian parents, and as a result, I have an Italian passport, and there's very little money that we gave for indie films, and so I shot the film around in Italy as well, because Italians offers fabulous, so European countries collaborate with each other, and one of Italy's biggest production companies took film on, and then all the funding came, or most funding came for the Italian Ministry of Culture and the region specifically that we shot for still region funding that. And then Warner Brothers came along, Warner Brothers Italy, and offered us a cinematic release if we shot it and were able to complete it in a determined amount of time.
And I imagine that wasn't a long time. It wasn't good.
From actually choosing the actors, scouting the location, and delivering the film in 6 months.
6 months. Which, if you're not familiar with films, isn't going up.
No, about 4 times less that you would have, especially for a first feature. So, but it was a great opportunity. Warner Brothers were fantastic with us, and so the question was, would you rather rush it and have a film at the end of it, or risk it what happened in the book, which is what kept happening if financing or loss. So we said, okay, let's take on the challenge, and then that be it.
So how did you condense that down to such a small time frame?
Kind of wing and prayer. We didn't have time to plan for that. So we made it up at stupid block. That's months.
Okay. So in the movie, the student is taught a lot of nonsensical things that, as rational people, we know to be false. Those when messing around the germs and stuff like that, we know that's just simply not true. Did that come from, do you have sort of a problem with home education? Is it sort of, we use holding a mirror to how ridiculous that can be? Or where did that come from?
No, I don't. I have a problem with bad home education, but I bad home educated people who are actually very stable and
Not trying to bring their parents back to life with.
No, keep tagging their parents. So, but I guess what I've always been interested in is the degree to which mental illness. So it's implied through film that the father has a mental illness and that the daughter has the same one. And are they mad, or are they actually seeing something what you'll have to this? And what happens if you take that to the extreme? And that's space, and that's related, and that's what I was interested in. So if you create a kind of hermetically sealed existence for someone and convince them about something, are you teaching them, in this case, are you teaching them the truth that everyone else sees? Or do they go crazy and so start seeing the world psychotically? Yeah. Which is right. I think that's more.
It's difficult to talk about without giving too much away, isn't it? Because you say, I don't want to go to many of the plot points, but obviously the father and the daughter, as you said, had this affinity. Well, they did. Yeah. What was the mum's excuse? Because if anything, she was the most extreme of them. She had these very out there ideas without the excuse of the mental illness. How did you sort of get around that?
I think there it's for her character at least it's fair. So it's someone who a lot of people who are scared of loss want something to believe in, to anchor them. I think that's unfortunately a lot was cut from this film, so there's
Was our time or here for time and money? The two things careful.
And but she's someone who I think found comfort and certainty in the beliefs of the man she chose.
Yeah.
That's an excuse.
And she trusted his perception of the world as being true, accepted that she can perceive the same things, but trusted that what he said was real.
Like I get someone with a shame and also with a priest.
So she's not direct. She's not actively trying to mislead at all. She believes this stuff. So she thinks it's real. She's not making it up or trying to like lie to her daughter. She thinks it's real.
Yeah, she thinks it's real. So does. The only way she manipulates her is by keeping her away from the outside.
Yeah, trying to make sure she keeps it to herself. Yeah, absolutely. Which, if you're dealing with loss, I suppose that's quite normal, isn't it? You want to sort of keep the prequel close to you. Absolutely. So what's next for you?
Good question. What's next? We'll see. I'm writing a new future right now. It's I was saying it during the Q&A. It's a very difficult time for film industry at the moment, with everything that's going on in the world, and with TV having kind of the TV bubble kind of having blown, and the market being unsaturated. But who cares? Like, where there's a will, there's a way. So next, right now, is getting the nice script for a feature film done, and then embarking on that long, or maybe not long, let's see, journey of getting that funded.
So not the director's cut, where you've had a film as a success, people like it, get the films that you didn't get shot, let's get that done.
Yeah.
Exactly. Couldn't hear that.
Yeah.
So while we were chatting before we started recording, I thought of a question. You had a Q&A after the film finished, and there was seemed to go on quite long. She had a lot of questions. As a director, is that a good or a bad thing? Do you want people to have questions, or do you think you should have got it? Because it was in the film, you should know the answer to this stuff.
I love the question. There's so many filmmakers here as well, so only one of the questions was to maybe elaborate a bit more on what the ending meant. But all the rest of them were, what was it like? What this actress, why did she shoot for here? And it's good. Curiosity, I think, is always a good thing.
So, I mean, if you get asked what's going to work back, you're going to say terrible, she's awful, you're going to say,
but it was genuinely great. So yeah, so that's a good. It was. So, no, good.
So this was your debut feature. You had quite a lot of success with your first feature. You know, it's a good film, established actors. You know, you've done really well. You've had a wonderful release. What advice would you give to sort of people who want to get into filmmaking? One piece you can say, just do it, because it won't set that. No. That's the...
It's something I found. It sounds so trite, but it's true. It's stick by your guns as much as possible. You'll be surprised by what is out of your control that ends up being the reason why your film gets made. If you keep open to it, and you keep pursuing what it is that you want. The executive producer of this film is one of the directors who, when I was a teenager, was one of my favorite directors, and I still love his early films, Alex Proyas, and
The Raw Dark City.
yeah, great for see. And he got in touch with me saying he'd seen the short film, because this film started out as a short film. Wow, film school. But I already had the FIFA script, so he got in touch saying, well, do you need any help? And if, I hadn't been submitting the short films festivals and pushing it and marketing it, and you're a one-person band, like, doing all of this. But if you do it, things come. So keep open, keep fishing for opportunities. I never know what's going to come out of those. Because from him, I got producer Oman, and he'd come definitely work.
Wow.
Keep up.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I have to say, I loved the film as well. I just want to say that, for considering like it didn't have a massive budget, it looks like it does. You did a wonderful job of making it look very expensive. So yeah, that's great. I don't know how you did that. How did you do that? In fact, we'll finish on that.
Well, that's thanks to the crew as well. We had the VFX department had that time slashed in half, the budget slashed twice by how much, and we were working on the VFX until 4 a.m. the morning that we had to we had send the film to Warner Brothers, and it was like that every day of 6 months. So even though it was an extreme difficult shoot, we shot during the worst summer in Italy in 100 years. We had 3 days of shoot to rain and hail, but everyone just did their best. That's it.
So this is the UK premiere. When is it going to be available for sort of mass consumption, really? I am nerdy. You want to watch it, go to Italy.
Yeah.
What's you flying?
Speak and watch it. Get a VPN and log into US, Amazon, or Apple TV and use that.
I mean, great. I can't recommend getting a VPN. I got US Amazon, but if you just happen to do that, yeah, that's Starfall, then Northern Europe. Thank you very much for joining me today. I thought it was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You didn't do your advice.